Hey everybody, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I am coming to you with a new project to go in the Pick a Project series since we are finished with the envelope journal and you saw the flip through of that last week. I finally finished it. I am excited because I tried something. This was inspired by Care over at My Take at the Lake. She made glue books out of calendars, and I will have to say that my takeaway from her video was she did it because she has dogs and she has calendars that have the same breed of dog in them. I don't want to say which kind she has because she mentioned a couple of different dogs and I don't want to get it wrong. So anyway, she wanted to preserve the calendars because she liked them so much. And I can't blame her. I see all kinds of beautiful calendars and there's tons out there with cute puppies in them. So I totally get it. But she preserved it in such a way that when you open the calendar, you get to keep, when you open the book, you keep the full page of the calendar. Okay. So this was one that I tested. Now you have to remember, I have a pile of calendars. I don't know if you remember, this is a stack of different years of Longer Burger calendars that I got at a thrift shop for like 99 cents. Okay, so I have tons of calendars to experiment with and play with and all of this kind of stuff. So I also have large calendars. I haven't done a large calendar yet. This calendar is 12 by 12, so it's going to use large pieces of paper if I use the whole page. I have two of it, so I can experiment. And then I have this one, and I have this one, which I also got. I actually think I got this at the bins, maybe. I don't know. But I got this one. Lang calendars are gorgeous. If I can find them, and the paper is really a really cool texture. If I can find those on discount, I grab them. And then I got a bunch of Dollar Tree calendars that come with a mini calendar. So I can do little versions of this. But these are a ton of fun. And I was inspired by Care's video where she did hers, and I will link her video in my description box so that you can go see her do her version of this. I made it complicated because I always like to overcomplicate things. I can't help myself. It's just what I do. But I thought we would start by flipping through what I made, and then I'll show you. We'll get started on taking the calendar apart, and this will be a new project in our Pick a Project series, and we'll kind of go through creating one of these out of one of these. I am going to make some changes as we go, some reinforcement changes, stuff like that, but for the most part, it's going to be about the same. So this is it. It's the cover of the calendar was used as the cover of the book. It was because I folded a spine here out of the calendar. So I folded it here and I folded it here, and the spine ended up being an inch. So because I folded an extra inch out of that, it didn't wrap all the way around. So basically what I did was I extended it. Let me see, is that the calendar? I might be telling you a fib. Yeah, I did. I extended it. So this is where this is the edge of the calendar, and I covered it, made it a pocket, and put another piece on the inside of it so that it would be a pocket for this card that I made. Okay, and basically what you're going to see is the scrapbook paper that I used to do all the page work is what I then used for pockets and cards and tags, and this is a very basic journal. I also didn't want to get it too bulky because it'll blow out its 1-inch spine. This is a very basic journaling journal. Okay, so this was the cover of the calendar. I did cover up the Longer Burger brand thing in the corner, and then I put a little thing down here for somebody to maybe title the journal or something like that. It was a little short here, so I added a ruffle. Okay, when we open it up on the inside, I did wrap the spine in a burlap piece. I don't know if you can see that there. There's burlap in there, and then there's the cover of the calendar, and then there's this that I put on the outside. Now, the burlap is glued to the calendar. The paper is glued to the burlap on the sides, which is why you get this fold in the cover. and then the ribbon or the fabric is just glued on the sides. It's not glued on the back. So without further ado, here we go. So basically I covered the inside of the calendar page, and it's coming apart right here. I'm going to have to fix that. It has to do with the way this ended up folding, I think. And I'm going to have to stick some glue down in there. But this folds like a regular book. So this got glued here, and then the page folds there. And I don't know if I'm going to do it the same way. I don't know how else to do it for this kind of binding. Okay, and then on this one, I did a tuck or a double tuck. And you'll recognize most of the cardstock from, I backed these for journaling. There's the calendar. Okay. So basically what happens is when you take the picture and you turn it right side up, the calendar page on the back is upside down. So I covered the backs of all of these. It also makes them sturdier. These longer burger calendars are kind of flimsy. So it also makes them sturdier. And this book lays actually relatively flat, which I was kind of proud of. I covered this for journaling space, and then you've got a big pocket here. As you can see here, it's tab bound. So I took each folded piece and I tab bound the whole thing. And then I put a card in this pocket. I wanted to make a prototype before I came on and showed you this project because I didn't want it to like fail miserably in the middle of us doing it. The other thing is because you'll notice the paper on here and then the paper on the back of this, which is the same page, is different. Down the middle here, there's no reinforcement. And like I said, this is really flimsy paper. So what I'm going to do in the new book, what we're going to do is we are going to reinforce the back side of this. And I'm thinking that we're going to cover all the pages and then put pockets on top. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll do any like this. We can still do full page pockets. I just don't know if I'll do them with the, because the calendar, this is really thin. Okay. And then this one had a tuck, so I put some note paper in it. Coffee dyed note paper. Okay. And then here's another calendar page. They are not in month order. I don't think I kept them in month order. We may try and keep them in month order in this one, but I didn't do that in. So we have a pocket here and a journaling card. Like I said, really simple, not a lot of embellishing because I didn't want to bulk this up a lot. This is journaling paper, and here's another picture from the calendar. And then this is journaling paper, and this has 3 tags in it, actually, because there's 2 pockets here. So you got a pocket down here, and then you got another pocket here. And this is one of those ones where you stack the pockets and they pass all the way through. So that goes all the way down. And then you've got another one here. Maybe this should be in here. Is this taller? Not by much. I think I just had it sitting up higher. I did. I don't know. Anyway, so like this. And this is coffee dyed, so I didn't, that I think you can write on the green. This is coffee dyed, and that I also think you can write on the back of that one, so I didn't back that one. Some of them I backed, some of them I didn't. This one is scrapbook paper with lines, so I left it. And it's a little up tuck, which brings you to the other side, which this is, again, I feel like that's writable. Here's a peekaboo pocket. We stuck one in here. We got a tuck, and these are both backed because the backs were patterns that could not be written on. Okay, another calendar page. This is a full page pocket. Another one of those ones that I just glued a pocket to the calendar paper. And then there's a big card in here. It's writ dyed. So that goes in there. And for some reason, that is a weird fit. It's definitely, I don't know. Okay, and then we have a tuck on this page and a very simple tag. As you can see the tab bindings here. And then another calendar page. That's the picture from the front cover. And then we have this, which is just a plain page, and then a tuck on this side with some of that coffee dyed note paper. And then we have this picture from the calendar. And again, over here, oh, I put a belly band on this page, and there's a tag in there. Very simple, very... And then this is writ dyed paper. Here we have another picture from the calendar. And then we flip this page and we have a tuck with a full-size page. This was coffee dyed, so I didn't back it. So it's a little thinner, not quite as heavy. And then here's that green paper again, which I feel can be written on. Here's another picture from the calendar. And a small tuck and another piece of paper, which I embellished with some stickers just for fun. And then we have another picture from the calendar. As you can see, we went from fall. Well, we went from fall pumpkins to July flags. So obviously not in order. This was just a pocket where I took some more of that heart paper and I stuck a sticker on here, and it makes a card for that tuck. And here's some paper to write on. Another picture from the calendar, and this is the back. Okay, and back here we stuck a pocket with 2 tags in it. This is one of these little pictures off the back of the calendar. That's what this is. And then I have all the rest of them, and I've made these out of them, and I'm thinking about making little frames for them and then putting them in the journal somewhere, somehow. Don't know yet how, but that's what I'm going to do. And then the back, of course, like I said, was a pocket with the big card in it. So this is the calendar project, and this is what we're going to make. We're going to do another one of these, and with a few changes here and there. So I'm going to tuck that right up there, and we are going to get started. The first thing I have to do, of course, is pull the calendar apart. So it's just got 2 staples in it. So we'll pull these 2 staples out. Now, what I did with the original, okay, we take this. Basically what I did with the original was I went and I tore all of the, this one's going to give me a fit apparently. I tore all of them at the fold seam. Okay. Now, as you can imagine, that makes a rough edge, and I don't want a rough edge. So what I end up doing is going and trimming all the top edges. So we'll get all of our pictures. And that was June, so the rest are, there we go. If we wanted to try and keep them in order, they would go like this. That's being December, maybe? Yeah, that would be December. So that was the top of December's thing. All right, anyway. So basically that's what we do. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, which I didn't do last time, is I'm going to put a strip of masking tape up the backs of these. Okay? Your seam may, this may or may not be seen in your book. I mean, we tab bound it, so it's not totally invisible. But you're also gluing paper right up to its edge, so it's not, it's mostly covered. So whatever color you want to do your tape is entirely up to you. The only reason I say that is because I have like regular colored masking tape like this. And then I have red and purple and black. So the next thing, of course, that I would have to do, well, I'm wondering if I can do this all in one fell swoop. Ooh, and I might be able to make these. All right, guys. Basically what I'm going to do is these calendar pages are 8 3/8. And I'm thinking about taking the 3/8 off when I do this. And for most of them, I don't think that's going to be a problem. So is this long enough? It is. Okay. So we're going to take 3/8 off the bottom and make these 8 inches tall. It'll make it a lot easier to cut paper. Yeah. Okay. So, and it cleans up my edge. And there we have it. And then what I would do is they're 8 inches tall and they're 11 inches wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right up this inch in the middle here is where I would stick my tape. I think I'm going to do black. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to do this narrow white. It doesn't need to be wide. It just needs to be enough to cover that seam area. Of course, I also have to be able to get it up off the thing. Okay. I don't know how far we're going to get today, but I want to show you a few of the things that I'm doing. I'm just going to go up the middle like this. Now, normally you could say, oh, we'll just fold it around, but we aren't going to be doing anything with this side as far as covering it with paper or anything. So if you fold it around, the tape will show. So no folding it around. I'm kind of upset that I tore it that tall. I didn't need to tear it that tall. Waste not, want not, all that. Okay, now the next thing we would do with each page is fold it in half. And now I feel a little bit better about that half point because it's got that tape on there to kind of what do you call it? Secure it. Help it along. I don't know. Whatever you want to call that. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do, of course, is cover it. So this is going to be my very back picture. This will be the last picture in my book. You will see that this quality, again, of the calendar, you will see there's a white line up the middle of that picture from where we folded it. Nothing I can do about it. I mean, I suppose you could ink it. Your ink probably would soak into the paper and then not disappear. So you could probably do that. I have grabbed a bunch of kind of geometric sort of papers with lots of different colors and stuff. I like to be crazy eclectic with the papers that I use for the backs of the book. So basically what we're going to do is for this side, I'm actually going to cut, wait, no, for this side. This is going to be the back of the book, right? Yeah, very back of the book, last page. So for this side, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to glue this onto here. But I've decided what I think I'm going to do to help me attach this piece to this. This attached fine, but as you can see, it's kind of torn away and it's kind of, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is create a fly page like they do in a book. So it'll be a page that folds in the middle and attaches to the cover and then attaches to the back page and the front page. So I'm going to create fly pages. And to do that, the page here, we can either connect this calendar page to the back of the book, which I could do, or I can put another extra page in there. I don't necessarily know that there's a reason for another extra page. So I'm thinking that we just connect this to the back of the calendar. So basically what we're going to do then, to cover these pages, I'm going to do this nice and simple. What I did before was all my cutoffs I saved. So I've got some cutoffs over here because I was thinking about making separate fly pages and I already cut them, but we may just end up using those as page covers. So basically what I'm going to do then, and I'm going to try and line this one up as best as I can so that I have enough to fold for my fly page. Okay. So we're going to put glue all over this, and we're going to make the first page in our calendar. I loved Care's book that she made. The ones she's actually made several. She showed them on camera. She did very basic, which is great because I made mine into journals. She made hers as glue books, to like glue all kinds of stuff in, which if you wanted to leave everything pretty basic, they would make great glue books for you to, go into magazines or, wherever and collect stuff and just go to town. Right? And you could glue all over the calendar page and nobody would be the wiser. It would make a really cool, oh, that must have glue on it. Let's turn that or fold it. Let's fold it. Okay. Make sure I don't have any glue on my page over here. Okay, now the idea here, of course, is to fold this normally I don't fold anything back here because normally this would get cut off and a different piece of paper. Well, a different piece of paper is going to go over here, but normally that would just get cut off. That's what we're going to do for the rest of them. It'll just get cut off. Now for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to cut on this side because we don't need all of that extra. And this is the stuff that I use for belly bands and pockets in the journal itself, but I mix and match. So I'm not worried about necessarily the everything matching exactly. Does that make sense? Like when we were looking through that, did you notice that the papers didn't necessarily match or come out of the same pad? I mean, you could tell they were different, right? And that was intentional. I liked it like that. Okay, so now I've got stuff for pockets and belly bands and all that sort of thing. I'm going to cut this off and we're going to put this over here to use later down the road. And that is remember when you're doing this, the page, in case you're using directional paper when you make your pages, the calendar that you're gluing to should always be upside down if your page is right, to make your page right side up. So when I go in here, my page is right side up, but my calendar is upside down, right? So we all know that's how calendars work, right? Oh, shoot. This does not seem... I'll worry about it later. Up here I'm a little concerned. I was going to say I'm not overly concerned with the edge, the side edge at the moment, but this top edge is kind of wonky. Okay. All right, so that's our first folio piece. All right, and then basically what you'll do is so if this is our fly page, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach something else to the inside here. Maybe we'll do polka dots in here because I've already done... Wait, where are those polka dot pages I already made? Let's use this. We'll use this. I need to cut it again though because I made it 8 3/8. So let's cut it to 8 inches and then we'll glue a piece of it down. We could probably cut it in half actually. So let's cut it to 8 inches and then we'll cut it in half because we're only going to need half of it. Okay, so we'll take that off. And then I'm going to put this a hair over the line. And we're going to take this little sliver off to open up the fold that I made. And hopefully give myself 2 nice straight pieces to work with. Okay. And then we're going to put this on here. Okay. I should have, and when I do the third one, I love making these. These are awesome. And they actually, as far as journals are concerned, because you're not doing a lot of detail because they can't be bulked up a lot, they actually don't take long. So like if you have some time to devote to one each day, I don't know how everybody's timetables are on how much time you get to be in your craft room. But if you have time to devote to it each day, you can probably easily get one of these made in a week. I mean, I don't think it would be any problem at all. Oh, I got all kinds of glue coming out. Let's clean that up. Now, what I was going to say, though, was what I would probably do in future, because now my, well, that's okay. They'll just get glued between the pages. I was going to say I would probably in future do my tab binding before I put this back piece on, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to get hidden. They're going to get hidden anyway. This is what I was talking about for my tab binding. So I have these. Basically what I did was I glued this and this, one to one side and one to the other. And then this, I used this as my thing. But now that I'm pulling on it, hopefully this one doesn't come apart. Now that I'm pulling on it, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So we have to find a new tab binding piece. Something new to use. I have to think on it. So in the meantime, let's move on to our next page. I don't know if you guys really want to watch me do all of these pages. That's basically how I do them. Okay, so we are going to go through and I'm going to glue scrapbook paper to each of these pages. Now, I also like rounded corners. So most likely, as you can see, this one has rounded corners. Well, no, you can't see because I tucked it up here off camera. This one, I rounded all the corners on it. And I am probably going to do same with this one. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do, if it would stop sticking to itself, that would be awesome. Okay, so we're going to round the corners here and here, here, and here. I don't know about the cover fly papers yet. I have to wait and see how that all fits together. All right, so far so good. Okay, so we'll do one more and then I'll probably let you go. We did the flip through so you know what we're making. The next time I come back to you, hopefully I will have all of the pages covered. Now that you know how I'm doing it. Not that it's rocket science. And we can do... Where's my rolling cutter? We can do, we can bind to them. Okay, and by then I will have figured out what I want to try using for the binding. Let's flip this over. You know, we'll fold it first and then we'll unfold it. That'll probably give me a better idea of where I'm going to put my tape if I have the fold in there. I know, doing it the other way was so complicated. I'm always trying to complicate things, guys. Haven't you figured that out yet? Complicating things is like my favorite. Okay. It's funny. Remember, I'm always talking about how I have a list of journaling projects that I want to do. Like a list. Probably as long as my leg. Not that that's huge, I'm short. But it's pretty long. But I'm like the squirrel in Up. So I see Care do this, and immediately I come down to my craft room and I find my calendars and I pull one out and I start messing around with doing this tab binding, turning it into a journal thing, and here we are doing a totally new project that doesn't come anywhere close to... Now, I shouldn't say that. I have been wanting to make journals out of my calendars. So it's not completely true. But I will say that Care's video helped me find a way to do that. Okay, now, the other thing that I do, because I want it to be eclectic, but I like to like the spread that it's going to be seen together. This is going to be seen as the back page. Then you'll see this, and then you'll see this, and then you'll see what? We have to figure out what we want to go with that. I don't necessarily want... I didn't know I had a striped one in here. I don't know if I'll use that. I don't necessarily want to do dots next to dots. I have several pieces of... Here, let me pull this over here so you can see what I pulled out. I have several pieces of scrapbook paper here, and what I meant when I said I pulled out geometrics, I meant I have these pieces with polka dots, okay? And this piece comes out of the pad that this polka dot came from. So, I don't know, maybe we'll use that back here. Here's another polka dot. It's green with little gold polka dots. Here's another piece of the, I don't know, flower tone, jewel tone. Here's lavender, and then here's big polka dots. And then the others I have are these geometric squares. So I have purple and green, I have pink and red and white, and I have blue and green. Okay, so the question would be, do I want to do the stripes? Because we are going to have this again. So none of this stuff, like, those go good together. But do I want that here? I also am trying to kind of think of the season. This kind of reminds me of something that could be Christmas ornaments. I think we are going to do the stripes. I know that's boring. Same pad. All boring. Okay, let's cut this to 8 inches. Right here. Just like that. That's what's happening. Well, that's not perfectly straight, but, you know, whatever. Okay, and then the other thing I have to do... The last calendar I did was 6 1/4, I think. Or something. I don't remember. I need these to be about 5 1/2, so we're going to take about 1/2 inch off of the end over here. I probably shouldn't do this and should just trim it in the book. You know what? I'm going to. Or I can take my 1/2 inch off when I cut it open. That's what we'll do. We'll cut 1/2 inch off on this side so it opens up my pieces. Okay, and then I have that little folded piece. Hey, you can use that to make a flippy something. Okay, we're going to put that over there because we'll use it for another page. And we're going to put this one, because this opens this way, right? Yep, we're going to put this one on here. Okay, so we'll cover this, and then I will let you guys go, and the next time I bring you this particular project, it will be time to bind the pages together. So we'll do that and also maybe work a little bit on how we're going to do the cover. The cover kind of gets done after all the pages are bound, so you know how thick your book is going to be, and you know how you're going to fold the cover and where it's going to come short. Especially if there's a particular part of the cover you want to be the cover of your journal. So like on this particular calendar, well, let me get this glued down first. Like I said, squirrel. If you guys haven't seen that movie and don't know what I'm talking about, I apologize. But there's a dog in it, and they put a collar on him that allows him to speak, like in English, as silly as that sounds. And he would be talking, and then all of a sudden a squirrel would run by, and he would, squirrel, and then he would go chasing after it. So yeah. It's just slightly off, which is fine. It's slightly off in the back here. Don't cut your seam open on your calendar page. That would be me. I would do that. I feel like if I was sewing these together, which would kind of defeat the purpose, unless you were making them signature centers, it would kind of defeat the purpose because you would end up splitting up the picture. So the whole idea behind this is to be able to keep the beautiful pictures that are in the calendars. That was like the whole idea. So now granted, you can make these into signature centers in separate journals, or like 3 or 4 signatures in a single journal, and you use stuff from a calendar, you know, or whatever like that. But if you like a calendar a lot, then this is a great way to make the pages into a journal. Okay, so this one is the second one done. I'll cover all the rest of them. I figure you don't want to just sit and watch me cover pages. So I will cover the rest of them, and then we will come back and I will have decided what I'm going to make my tabs out of. Hopefully cut a bunch of them, and then we will start tab binding the book. Again, probably I will have tab bound some of it, and then we will do the last few so that you can see it. And then we'll work on the cover, because we can't really go anywhere else until the book is tab bound, right? That's upside down. So then this is going to go like this. At the back of the book, this is our back fly paper. We open the book and we see that. We turn the page, and this is a scrapbook paper spread, and then you would open the next page and you would see that. So, like I said, this is an awesome way to preserve calendars that you've bought. I mean, a lot of us buy calendars because we love the images in them. And then at the end of the year, you're like, I don't want to throw it away. You know, or they end up having a 50% off sale at the store for calendars, and they're like dirt cheap, and you're going, this one's pretty, and this one's pretty, and this one's pretty. What am I going to do with all these calendars? Well, now you have something you can do with all these calendars. And having said all of that, I'm going to let you go, and I will see you to put this together. Bye-bye, guys.